What do we have here? It is Jepadu versus Torison. Tomb Kings versus High Elves. High Elves bringing the usual toxic bull crap, bull malarkey. Merwyrm, see it every single game. Caradrian, actually do see him a decent amount, so that's not a meme. But yeah, don't see a lot of the Merwyrm. It was interesting. Wanted to see it in action in this replay, so I picked it up, decided to spectate. Two Oceanids, a Merwyrm, Caradrian on his Frostheart Phoenix mount with the Phoenix Blade, Faint and Riposte, so he is a very good duelist. An Archmage of Fire with Burning Head, so no healing for the Merwyrm or Oceanids besides the Merwyrm's natural regen. Front line of Ship's Company, and then Illyrian Reavers and Silverhelms on the flanks. For the Tomb Kings, we have the Chosen of the Gods who shop Crypto ROR, Eyes of the Desert, Sporkle Stalker ROR, the Sphinx of Usef, Necro Sphinx ROR, and then a front line of Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spears spread throughout with a Necrotect to heal the Sphinx. He also brought his Van Braces of the Sun, and then some Nekar Horsemen. Some carrying in the back too, I guess, looking for archers that are not there. The Chosen of the Gods will get a lot of damage onto the Merwyrm when they shoot it because it's such a big body. They're spread shot missiles. All those little missiles hit and just do so much damage. The Sporkle Stalkers also have a good time, and the Sphinx will have a good time fighting him. So honestly, the Merwyrm's gonna have a hard time getting a lot of value in this match here, but we'll see. As Katep is here, I didn't actually check his spells. Incantation of Vengeance, Curse Blades, and then his Bound Sandstorms. I see. No Dragon Princes for him to vengeance upon, though. So not great targets there. Sphinx of Usef does have magic damage, so it'll do a lot to those Oceanids, though they also have fire resistance, so his fire damage is getting negated there. Unfortunate for him. Merwyrm, after a patient outing, it does finally arrive in the fight, and it's going to jump on the Sporkle Stalkers. Regenerating up nicely, but also now that it's in melee with the ranged units that are trying to shoot at it, it won't be nearly as vulnerable. Sphinx has his work cut out for him. He's got to duel Caradrian and the Merwyrm to keep them both off the backline, which is rather difficult. The three Nekar Horsemen are having a hard time keeping the Silverhelms and Illyrian Reavers at bay. You can see they are attritioning out pretty badly. Front line, Burning Head goes through, clearing out some Skeleton Spears, though the Ship's Company are also not looking too good. One of them's full health getting through, but there are two others that are actually pretty close to routing. There goes some Silverhelms, other Silverhelms deciding to flee as well. Chosen Gods down to half HP. Sporkle Stalker, ROR, they're there. Like 3/4 HP. And they're trying to line up and shoot at the Oceanids right now, or the Merwyrm. Either are good targets, as the Sphinx just holds down the center. Firecaster running away. We have Carrion just vibing, and the Necrotect does not want to chase those Ship's Company much further. That's the Carrion's job. Necrotect has to be here offering his Van Braces debuff, which is very nice. The blinded constantly is great, but also to heal the big Sphinx, which is currently doing its very best with the Ushapti summon and some spear support. It is fighting all the things it wants to be fighting, but you know, it is in a multiple v1 situation. Very nice Bound Sandstorm right in the middle of the Ship's Company and the Oceanids. Gets the Ship's Company low enough to tear her out. Good poke on the Oceanids too. The Chosen of the Gods and the Sporkle Stalkers also getting to safety, all starting to turn and fire at the big Merwyrm. Its giant body making it impossible to miss in this quad fight. Turn the flags off for a bit. It's cinematic view. I'm a jumping on you. But the Sphinx taking a lot of damage. It's already getting a restore, though he is currently on fire due to Caradrian, so he's getting less of that healing than he would like. Necrotech, you have a second one. You have another restore, so they could heal him again if he's still alive by the time that cooldown comes up. But it's looking unlikely. Burning Head going to rip through the Skeleton Spear support. The Ushapti summon will also go away soon, so actually soon the Sphinx will be left all alone. And already he's not having the best time versus the Merwyrm and Caradrian. He is just going to die, so that second restore will not be here in time to save him. As my kitty cat joins the cast. Hi, kitty. Merwyrm does rout. As the Sphinx dies, he decided he's had enough. He did his job and he's leaving. Now with regeneration and how expensive and how big of a boy he is, I imagine he'll be back. This is not the last we'll see of the Merwyrm, but for now, he's leaving. Incantation of Vengeance to finish off these very wounded Silverhelms. Honestly, the spell might kill them outright, if not shatter them. Stalkers fighting Oceanids and Caradrian. They do have armor piercing, anti-large, and magic damage, so they are well suited for that fight. But still, as I've said, they haven't been that meta for a while, but when they used to be taken all the time, I did say they almost never want to be in melee. Those hybrid stats are just kind of a last resort, but they definitely prefer to use all their ammunition. So they'll try and fight their way out. Merwyrm's back, like I said, just regenerating around in the background. Stalker's still poking at Caradrian and the Oceanids. We do have Spear and Skeleton Warriors support, though Oceanids take almost no damage from low-tier chaff infantry, and especially undead infantry with their pathetic melee stats. And then the Blizzard aura from Caradrian making this even worse. There's the second restore for the Eyes of the Desert, healing them up. Very nice cast on them, honestly. They still have a lot left that they could do, whether with their ammo or with their anti-large stats. We saw they did quite well versus the Oceanids because of their magic damage getting past all that physical resistance. So now they're just stuck fighting Caradrian for a little bit. For the rest of the Tomb Kings, who are very ahead on the balance of power, we have a couple Nehekar Horsemen, a Carrion as well, so a lot of stuff to chase down, routing things. But for actual stopping power, there's not a lot. I guess there's just the Sporkle Stalkers, but like a Necrotect and Katep versus the Merwyrm in the late game is actually not going to be very good. So the Sporkle Stalkers are still very much needed. And the Oceanids seem to realize that. Oceanids just sprinting after the Sporkle Stalkers, trying to get them to crumble, deal a little bit more damage to them, and those guys will take care of themselves, even if it costs you your tiny Oceanid bodies. Skullstorm in the distance just pushes away some ship's company. The three Sporkle Stalkers that are left, still running away from the Oceanids, still having a hard time, and Katep is going to come over and offer his blade, but it is too late. Sporkle Stalkers are going to crumble down. Merwyrm's coming over. So even though the balance of power is almost army losses territory for the High Elves, I actually think they're in a really good spot. The Merwyrm might just be unstoppable now. 3,500 HP. Don't let its low HP percentage fool you. It has a lot of hit points, and it is regenerating them up. Sporkle Stalkers officially dead, though the Oceanids might be soon to follow. The only problem for the Merwyrm is a lack of any support whatsoever. There's no ship's company around to even try and keep it safe. Caradrian is busy fighting Nehekar Horsemen. A quick Burning Head tried to help him out a little bit, just the burnt debuff. Trying to lower their leadership, get them to crumble. As Carrion also land on Caradrian, but with the Merwyrm coming over, he should be okay. Now he has no self-healing, and he didn't bring his low-health Mortis engine. So those are two things that are missing here, but still a fearsome combatant, and with the Merwyrm and his lord next to him, he's probably not going to rout. So they should be able to clear out these Nehekar Horsemen easily. You can see Katep and the Necrotect just forming up on their infantry. Ooh, actually though, the Necrotect's Van Braces, I kind of forgot about that. So yeah, if he hits the Merwyrm, it's going to have minus 24 melee defense, bringing it down to 12. 12 melee defense versus these Skeleton Spearmen. That could actually get pretty spooky. Low armor and then low melee defense, standing in cheap spears could be bad. And we have the Blizzard aura though. I don't know. This is going to be a risky late game. Bounce power still very much favors the Tomb Kings. I think the bounce power needs to calm down. We still have Ted the Merwyrm. Oh, he's turning. Roar! That was graceful. That was a graceful belly flop you did, you strange monstrosity. Merwyrm goes through. Burning Head also to clear out the skeleton chaff. The skeletons try and dodge the Burning Head as best they can. They still take a little bit of damage, just a little bit. Nehekar Horsemen going for the rear charge, quickly get disintegrated away, so other Skeleton Warriors will as well. We have a full health Skeleton Warrior, not a spear. A full health Carrion, nearly dead Nehekar Horsemen, half health Skeleton Spearmen, Necrotect, and Katep. Here we can say the Burning Van Braces have been applied to the Merwyrm. So its melee defense is 14. Its leadership is starting to falter a little bit. Caradrian is diving onto the Necrotect, really wants to take that guy out so that the Merwyrm can tank it through for the end of the game. Merwyrm, on the other hand, is going to help the Fire Mage with Katep, leaving Caradrian to die. Kind of fucked up. He was trying to save you from the Necrotect, and you just abandoned him to his fate. Caradrian did pop Feint and Riposte for some excellent melee stats, but you can see he's just getting poked down little by all these spears. He is actually going to rout and run away. The Van Braces of the Sun not applied to him yet because it's pretty hard to hit him with his high melee defense. Really good burning head. Oh, 2-for-1 value on the full health skeleton warrior that's now below half. And the skeleton spear that's at close to like 1/10 HP. The Merwyrm is eating good in the neighborhood, though it is not blinded yet. The Necrotect hasn't managed to land a hit. Gradrian getting chased off by Carrion. He will not be coming back. That's a fine use of your time, I suppose. So the skeleton spears and then this Nekar horsemen are going to fade away soon. Should simplify the battlefield a little bit. Less flags, less banners going about. And Kotep is still being hunted by the Merwyrm and the Fire Lady. Merwyrm has been regenerating. It is close to its healing cap. It has 2,300 more HP it can heal up, leaving it at 6,000 even for possible hit points left. Skeleton spears are crumbling, so the Merwyrm and the Fire Lady are more than happy to keep chasing Kotep and just letting those spears kill themselves. And we get a little bit of an awkward Bob's your uncle, as the Merwyrm doesn't seem to notice Kotep is beneath its feet. Just walking. Just walking. I think most single entities should get a much larger hitbox so that this happens less, so that they know they're making contact. Because I imagine what's happening right now is the Merwyrm's center of mass is a weird thing, so it's not touching Kotep. I'm not sure. Like, Catholic Alcoholic or one of the other guys who are way more into the coding would know more. But when this stuff happens, it feels like the Merwyrm's hitbox is here, so it doesn't think it's in contact with Kotep, so it has to get closer, but it can't possibly get closer. That's the only way I can interpret why this stuff happens, but it happens with the Skaven Brood Horrors too. I'm just going to fast forward while this occurs. Kotep finally gets free, runs back to his troops. And the Necrotech stands in the face of the Merwyrm. This is a bit mismatched, my buddy. That don't look right. Fire Mage is running around with Kotep, getting some decent shots on him every so often as the Merwyrm continues to fight this brave Necrotech and his skeleton warrior compatriot. We're getting dangerously close to that heal cap, but I said it had 6,000 HP max. Now it has 5,900 max. Incantation of Vengeance onto the Archmage of Fire for a little bit of damage, but I think mostly the slow, and now Carrion pile around her, trying to keep her in place, get a couple shots off while Kotep gets to safety. Necrotech and the Skeleton Warriors continue to chase the Merwyrm. That is right gosh darn near its heal cap. Balance power shifts heavily in the favor of the High Elves. And I just don't know what the Skellies can even do at this point. Van Braces of the Sun applied on the Merwyrm, and it should be easier to keep getting Van Braces of the Sun applied because you lower his melee defense by hitting him, so then you should be able to hit him again. Right? But as I say that, he actually misses, so yeah. RIP. Merwyrm's officially heal capped. Bounce power. Still in favor of the High Elves. Skelly Warriors pile into the Merwyrm. Fire Mage keeps charging in and out. Necrotech down to half HP. Kotep's just sitting there, being as safe as he can as the birds all kind of burrow into the Merwyrm's butt. That's certainly a sight. Certainly a sight to see. Merwyrm's leadership is getting pretty bad, though. Attacked in the rear, melee contact, attacked in flank. Exhaustion. Yeah, he's not having a good time for big old beastie. Skeleton Warriors fade away. Kotep is trying to kite away through his Carrion that are barely holding back the giant monstrosity that is the Merwyrm. Down to 4,000 HP, so since we talked about its healing cap being at 6,000, it has lost 1/3 of that maximum HP value. Necrotech runs up to put his Van Braces on it. Hasn't quite hit him yet. Carrion's got it fully surrounded. Kotep's still running around, being a spooky magoober. This Merwyrm's leadership is all over the place. Sometimes it's close to routing, then it's up to like 50. Necrotech still chilling. Van Braces of the Sun applied on the Merwyrm, and its leadership went -16 for just a second. Now it's back up to 20. 3,000 HP, and its leadership is at 6. losing currently, attacked in the flank, exhaustion, 5 leadership bet left on the Merwyrm. That can definitely win this fight with 2,500 HP. Its leadership goes negative. Its leadership goes negative. It's running, but the Carrion are crumbling. The Fire Mage is trying to kill Kateb, and Necrotect can't possibly keep up. He's not on horse, he's on foot. So Kateb's the only one that can keep up with the Merwyrm to keep it routing, because the Carrion are going to crumble away, so they don't matter. But Kateb has to peel away because he can't fight the Archmage of Fire, which means the Merwyrm is going to come back as the Carrion are trying to walk it off, but they are crumbling. Can the Necrotect and Kateb win the 2v1? Before that matters, the Merwyrm rallies in the face of the Carrion anyway, but then it shatters. It shatters because it's the third route. It shatters anyway. It rallied. That's funny. Sorry, I have to pause and talk about this. I love how that was actually a good thing for the Tomb Kings, that the Carrion aren't enough balance of power to keep the Merwyrm routing, but also the Merwyrm isn't brave enough to fight them, so it just routes anyway. That's hilarious, where it's like, I don't care about you, so I'm gonna rally in your face. Oh shit, you're so scary. Oh, I'm gone. All right, Kateb is stupid low, 500 HP. The Archmage is really trying to get any hits on him she can, but she is horribly debuffed. She's down to 10 and 14 for melee stats from those Van Braces of the Sun. Balance of power goes heavily in the favor of the Tomb Kings as the Carrion die off, and so does the Archmage of Fire. With a very close to dead Kateb and a Necrotect, the only things left standing. Oh, Merwyrm. Even in a situation you couldn't possibly lose, you decide to rout. You're trash. You're a trash unit. All right, Sphinx did well. Sparkle Stalkers and Inner Gear did very well also. Caradrian, the Firecaster, and the Merwyrm tried to carry this. Oceanids did okay. Ship's Company did not have a good time. Lyran Reavers and Silverhelms did mixed. GG's. Goodbye. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.